CFO, by virtue of his position, may have good opportunity to succeed the CEO.
I think I can feel your heart. I can feel your heart actually, what you are saying. But the fact of the matter is that the comfort zone or otherwise does not come from creating positions. It comes from how best you use your positioning. And as I said, that this is the major problem. What you are highlighting is that quite a few CFOs get into a comfort zone because they have reached a position and there is no aspirations to move forward, and therefore they are doing their own work very happily and merrily. And that is what we need to, that is exactly what we are talking about, that the role has to change by being able to set opportunities, not blocking somebody else's position, let them move or they move out.
Thank you, President. Any further questions?
Thank you. My name is Asif Iqbal, and as rightly pointed out by Mr. Khalid Rahman, and I have a question for him that he rightly pointed that most of our community in chartered accountants lack in interpersonal skills, and he rightly pointed out that some steps need to be taken on a very urgent basis. Mr. Khalid Rahman, what should be the number one step should be taken so that this area of weakness is addressed on a priority basis?
Thank you.
Asif, there are two or three ways that we can address this issue. We have to understand that most of the people who come into the profession are basically BCom. And in bachelors, you see the quality of the people that they are coming in. Now, obviously, the starting point to have these interpersonal, these communication skills and other things should come basically at a level of your schooling and your college education and so on and so forth. Since that there is a very major gap, that has to then be nurtured at a second tier level. And the second tier level is basically your examination system, your training programs in the firms, and also in terms of sort of promoting it as a conscious effort by the institute itself. And as probably we would know, that there's a lot of emphasis in imparting these. We realize that this is what is blocking the progress of quite a few accountants to be able to communicate effectively, to be able to deliver properly, to make presentation skills properly. Whereas if an MBA comes, you see how prepared he is, how he can market himself. We don't. So that is what we need to, and we are also taking this up in our deliberations of the council. And obviously there are no easy answers for it. We are looking at it, and inshallah in due course of time there will be some changes in this area, and that will be through different mechanism, and I think that will be shared with the membership.
Thank you. Two quick questions. I don't think we have a lot of time.
My name is Hanif. I'm CFO at DHL. My question is that in the Pakistan scenario, most of the business houses are owned by family concerns. And how does a CFO, even a capable CFO who has all the interpersonal skills, who knows the business, how can he come up to the position of a CEO? Generally, a CEO is always the MD's son, or his nephew, or his grandson. So what are your comments in that such a situation? That's a practical situation in Pakistan.
Look for an owner who adopts.
I think you need to change the job.
No, an accountant has to be adopted.
Adopted, yes.
So, get yourself adopted.
Actually, that's not correct. That's not correct. At least if it was, that may have been the case. I also work for a company that is family oriented in many ways, but I think The family might be there in some shape and form, but I think there's professional growth for people. And enlightened Pakistani entrepreneurs are adopting and embracing the code of corporate governance.
So one last question.
My question is to you, Mr. Khalid, that if a CFO becomes a CEO, how would you justify the concept of segregation of duties, number one? And second, then the CFO will be responsible to whom? Because he's a finance person.
I think I tried to answer your question, which you had put differently earlier. My answer is the same. We have different responsibilities. CEO has a different set of responsibilities, and he has to play a different role altogether, and it's much a broader role. It is looking after the outsiders and in the inside, overall inside. Then CFO is basically somebody who's looking after his own given set of functions. So the role is entirely different, and each has got a different role to play. There are no conflicts. There is leadership doesn't mean, if you have leaders, that you fight for positions within the organization. The whole intention of leadership is that you complement each other and supplement each other of performing better, because you're looking after the corporation, the corporate interest, the company's interest. You have to go above your personal interest in any relationship that you have or any delivery that you do, that you have to be above board. And that's what good corporate governance is all about. So what I would like to state once again, that the roles are entirely different. They are leadership roles, all of them, different responsibilities, different skill sets required also, and different mindset required also. So that's what I can share with you right now.
Thank you, Farid. Ma'am, just
I see a sense of urgency in the posturing of the Master of Ceremonies. So let me be quick about reaction. Last year, IFAC board, for the benefit of all of you, had constituted a task force to redefine the deliverables of the professional accountants in business. Fortunately, I was a member of that task force, and this aspect was extensively debated. Finally, it was felt by a majority of the task force members that the accounting bodies, which are the constituents of IFAC, basically should remain accounting bodies. You should not push them too much to go beyond the accounting domain, though individual members can have their aspirations. So the basic feeling was the accounting bodies should train their members, the students and all that, build competencies to become good CFOs. But what it takes a good CFO to move beyond and become a CEO, that no man's land is common across all functions.
Sure.
So pushing an accounting body with an agenda to prepare professionals for CEO would be too much beyond the domain, and it will be crossing the border. This was the feeling, and basically they would be asked to remain as accounting bodies, but those CFOs would have a holistic business vision, so that the aspirations are set in to become CEO faster, and they pass through the no man's land faster by competing with others. But those skills, building them as a part of the accounting profession, was kept outside the purview of this task force, which had extensive debate last year.
Thank you, sir. And with that, we conclude the Q&A and the panel discussion. I thank you, my fellow panelists, for your time, and hand over the mic back to the Master.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we please give the panel a big round of applause? May I please request the panelists not to go too far? We have one more presentation, and then we'll have the plaque distribution. The next speaker is going to be addressing the topic Invest to Grow, M&A in Pakistan, and not M&A. The speaker is the Chief Executive of BMA Capital, and I just want to tell you a little bit about BMA Capital. BMA is one of the most experienced firms in mergers and acquisitions.